Hi, I'm James. Good to see your smiling faces. I really like the winter holiday season. What's really special to me is I get to go and see my mom. And I want to talk about my mom and the inspiration that she has provided for me through the years, particularly as an artist. One thing I like about dentistry, and particularly CAD/CAM and ceramics, is the ability to create art form. And even though there's a science to it in form and function, and there's a biology to what we do in the mouth, I really like the artistry side. And I want to talk about that in this video because mastering artistry is not a necessarily totally cognitive thing. It's also a connection thing where you let go and you let your imagination come alive based on certain principles of art. And that applies to the mouth as well. You think about the golden proportions, you think about harmony, the way things blend in to the face and the smile and the teeth, because the teeth are so emotionally charged. And so we have to connect with people. We have to sense what's going to work for them. And it's that relationship that really counts. One thing I noticed that my mom did exceptionally well through the years was contract painting for clients that wanted to create this art piece that they would hang either in their home or office of a view that was really meaningful for them. Art is kind of like music. When you see it, it brings back memories. You hear music, I often hear songs going clear back to my childhood where when I hear them, it brings that emotional feeling within me. And it creates this sense of where it's kind of like a dopamine, oxytocin rush in my brain. And those are meaningful things in our life because those are what keep us grounded, particularly within relationships. Art has a lot to do with relationships. Smile has a lot to do with relationships. And that's one thing I really appreciate about the memory of my mom's journey. You know, today she's not able to do art. She's in a phase of her life where she doesn't have those assets anymore. I still enjoy talking about art with my mom because it brings such an emotional fervor for her about the art of her life. And I did visit her this week and saw her easel and some of the paintings and the brushes that have laid dormant for a number of years now. But all those brushes have a memory to them. They stroked through the perception of her eye and perception of beauty, and that's very meaningful for me. And there's a lot of parallels there that are meaningful for us in our profession, particularly when you get more into the aesthetic side of dentistry, because it's about art, it's about understanding what that patient wants to see for that connection. There's several principles I want to go through that I learned from my mom when you're enhancing a smile and connecting with that client. It's real important you understand how it's going to close for them emotionally. So what we want to do is we want to do a sketch first. That's what my mom used to do. She used to do sketches and she'd go through and review that with her clients and make sure that they were on the same page. Well, we want to do that in dentistry as well because you want to understand your client. You want to understand what's going to really close the case for them, particularly with smiles because it's so emotional. The other thing that I learned from my mom is she would understand who the client was and their sensitivities, and particularly if they had a really strong visual acuity, because you got to reach the goal for them when that happens, right? So she would walk through that process and really fine-tune what she does before she did the final painting. Well, we can do that in dentistry as well. We want to fine-tune the journey for them aesthetically so they can have emotional closure with that art piece. Yes, that enhanced smile before you finish the final restorations.